It's okay to have hairy legs, hairy pits, hairy everything when you're a mum. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Nicola. I'm mum to my little boy Marley. He's just turned a year old end of January, so I've been a mum now for a year. I just wanted to set up a channel really to kind of be a bit of a big sister to other women out there, or girls that may be in the depths of motherhood. So Marley had just turned 7 weeks old when we first went into lockdown, so I'm with you, all you other pandemic mums out there who are struggling, trying to wing this with little to no help. And I kind of just wanted to be like a bit of a big sister really, and give you some truths, and kind of just tell you things that I wish I'd been told before I'd had Marley. Obviously I don't want you to put anyone off. That's not the plan. I suppose that's probably why people don't tell you these things, because they don't want to be the bearer of bad news. But I just want to kind of give a few truths so that other mums don't feel so alone, because in the beginning it kind of felt like, oh my god, this is really difficult, my life's completely changed. And it seemed like from social media everybody else was just like, this is easy, it just looks like, you know, you're the only one struggling. So I just kind of wanted to set up this channel just to let you know that you're not alone, and and so kind of build a little community so that we can all chat in the comments below and kind of help each other out through these difficult times when you haven't got so much help. So like I said, I'm not here to make motherhood sound horrific. It has been the best thing that's ever happened to me. Marley is amazing, and he does bring me happiness every single day, and he makes me laugh all the time. But especially in the early days, I found it was quite dark times really. You do feel quite alone. I still sometimes feel a bit alone now, especially as we're in a pandemic, but things do get a bit easier. But I just wish people had kind of told me a bit more, not so much after, because they seem to open up a bit and go, oh yeah, this happened to me. But before, when you're pregnant, people don't tell you about the sore nipples, the piles that you get during and after pregnancy, the sleep deprivation. That was a big one for me. Marley still doesn't sleep now. When he was a newborn, I barely got any sleep. I think in the first 4 days I got about 4 hours sleep, and I found that really hard. I'd just like to add that this does go for any parents, so whether any caregiver, whether you're a dad bringing up a child, adopt a child, anything like that. It goes for everyone, and hopefully this kind of brings some comfort to somebody, or just useful tips. What I feel I've missed out on is kind of relationships with other mums during this pandemic, and kind of wish I had other people to kind of say, yeah, that happened to me, this, I'm feeling the same, this is what I'm going through. Obviously you can get into some chats on social media privately, and you kind of find out that you aren't alone, but it's nice to know that there is a community out there. So I'd like to kind of build a little community around my channel, and a place that you can all feel safe to kind of open up and be honest with each other. I'd like to share with you 10 products that I found really helpful in Marley's first year, and let me know in the comments below if you used any of these, or if it kind of makes you think of something else that you could recommend to other mums. Just comment down below, and maybe share between yourselves what you find helpful, and I'll probably pick up some tips from you guys too, so that would be really nice. So the first thing I've got is these suction plates. I'm sure you've seen them all over Instagram and everywhere, just advertised. They keep popping up. As soon as you become a mum, you get these things advertised to you. But these plates, I don't know how they used to not use suction plates, because if Marley uses a normal bowl, it's gone. He's flung across the room with the food. The food's gone with it. But this, I must admit, when he was about 10 months old, he did start pulling it off the table and dropping it on the floor. But he seemed to have grown out of that already in a couple of months of me just ignoring him and kind of just going, oh no, let's put that back on the table. It's been amazing though. They suck to the table just like that. I'm sure you've seen them all. And I haven't done it yet, but you can actually put coconut oil, rub it into the wood to kind of preserve it, make it last a bit longer. I should probably do that because mine looks a bit of a mess. This one is by Coco Kids. You can probably look them up, or I'll link them down below. All of the products that I'm mentioning, I'll link down below. Okay, so the next product I was actually gifted a little while ago. They messaged me on Instagram. The company's called Kia Babies, and they sent me these two lovely silicone bibs. Again, you would have seen these before, but I've used kind of a few different bibs that are out there, and these ones are the best. I think the silicone ones with the little, you know, bowl, that's it. A little catcher here. But I've seen some around in shops and I felt them and they're very flimsy. These Kia Baby ones are so, they're just really thick and sturdy, so there's not much going to fall out of there. These all seem to be food related actually, but the next one is this Sippy Cup. So I've gone through so many Sippy Cups, and I'll show you the ones that I've actually found not very useful, but this is the best one that I've found so far. You can get this in Tesco, and probably you can get similar ones in other supermarkets. It was only, I think it's only £4. It's not going to break the bank. What did break the bank was going through loads of different ones. And so to try and help you avoid doing that and spending loads of money, I'll show you the ones that don't work and why. So these ones, I'm sure you've seen these as well. They suck on the edge like that and it kind of opens it up and the water comes out. But what Marley tended to do was kind of pull this back like this and the water would just go everywhere. So that was a waste of money. These ones also, it flows out too fast. So if he sits there like that, he ends up just absolutely drenched. I mean, I'm sure they've got other products, but these Sippy Cups in particular, I just don't find helpful. Maybe when he's a bit older and he's less likely to be playing around doing this all the time, that might come in handy. I don't find that very useful at the moment, and he's just turned a year, so he still tips it all over himself. So the next one, we were gifted this for Marley's first Christmas from his grandma, and this is a Gund. I'm guessing that's the brand, teddy, and it does this. I'll just press play and show you. He's probably going to hear that in the other room now. Wondering what I'm up to in here. But Marley absolutely loves this. This comes in really handy, well, just if you need a couple of minutes just of peace and quiet. It's kind of like someone else entertaining him, but he loves it. He gives it kisses all the time, and yeah, these, I mean, I think really you need to supervise them. Oh no, I shouldn't have done that. Right. So you need to supervise them with this one because the mechanism inside, they could easily break if they're quite rough with it. But yeah, that's really good. So the next one, again, you probably all heard of it, Ollie the Owl. I find him quite annoying apart from this sound. I'm just trying to think which button to press. It is this one. So the heartbeat sound on this one is just been amazing. Marley absolutely loves it. I wouldn't say he loves it as in he gets really excited about it, but he loves it as in it sends him to sleep. He kind of knows when this goes on, it's bedtime. And also these are brilliant in the middle of the night if you're coming into the bedroom to get ready to get into bed. You just switch this on, it kind of like drowns out any noises you're making, because we all know if the room's silent and you make one little noise, they'll be awake. So as soon as I get into his cot with him to feed him to bed, feed him to sleep, sorry, and I just put this on straight away just before we get into bed, so he knows like, right, that's bedtime. And this does make other noises. It's got this, which I don't like because it reminds me of the dark times in the newborn days when I was trying to get him to sleep and this just didn't work. And it actually kind of brings back not very nice memories, but yeah, we're going to the next one. So that's just kind of like a waterfall. Same one. I think if you do this one, so heartbeat, and then you've got like a white noisy kind of, don't even know what you'd call that. Sounds a little bit like a river, but yeah, that's the one that works for Marley. Obviously every baby's different. Some babies love all the other sounds and not this one. And he also lights up, so his little belly lights up. Obviously it's brighter in the dark. And if the batteries ever run out in the middle of the night, I don't know what I'm going to do. So the next one is, I'll try and insert a video or a picture, but the next one is a walker. Pretty much every baby has one of these. I know there's some bad reviews online about them, and, but I'm not going to go into that. I'll leave it up to you to decide and do your own research. The walker that we've got is coming really handy for up until about a month ago, for when I was getting in the shower. I'd pop him in there with a snack and leave him with a cartoon on and quickly pop our bathroom's right next to our living room pretty much. So I used to just leave the door open slightly, leave him in there, and he'd be quite happy for 5 minutes. But he did recently climb out of it, which is a bit naughty and a bit annoying, but now I put him in his playpen, so it's fine. But that did come in really handy for ages, and it's also handy now if I just want him to sit still while he's having his snack in the living room, save putting him in his high chair in the kitchen. Just put him in his walker, and it's got like a little table on it, so he can just have his snacks there, and it keeps him in one place. But obviously I have to supervise him now because he likes to do gymnastics on it. Another thing I found really handy is I had a Wi-Fi camera, and we went to Center Parcs and the Wi-Fi there was rubbish, so we found our camera didn't work the whole weekend, so we had to kind of keep really quiet in the living room with the door open, and it didn't ruin our holiday, but it kind of could have been better if we had a different camera. So when we got back, I immediately ordered this one here. Don't know if you can see it. This thing is also amazing. I'll try and link that down below. But you can move that around. It's brilliant. It holds the camera. This camera is not dependent on the Wi-Fi, so it kind of, I don't know, it's like a walkie-talkie. It just connects up to the camera. The monitor. So if we went away to Center Parcs again, that would be fine because we don't need Wi-Fi for it. So yeah, I'll link that one down below. But that's just kind of like a tip really. If you're thinking about getting a Wi-Fi one or a non-Wi-Fi one, just think about where you're going with it and where you might want to use it. Something else that has been amazing is Hey Bear Baby Sensory on YouTube. If you're a new mum, or you know, you've got a toddler, you would have heard of Hey Bear Sensory, Hey Bear Baby Sensory, because it's all over YouTube. When you type in baby sensory, it's pretty much one of the first things that comes up. I used that in the earlier days to cut his nails, to keep him quiet basically, which is pretty much what anyone uses that for. And I just found it so handy for cutting his nails because he was more interested in that than what was going on at his hands. But that's changed in the last month or two, which is quite annoying because I have to do it while he's asleep now. But yeah, now he's more interested in what I'm doing with his hands than he is of the baby sensory. He also had a Hey Bear Baby Sensory birthday cake made for him, so I'll insert a picture of that because that was so cool. The other thing that I would recommend, and a lot of mums will recommend, is this grow egg thermometer for your bedroom. So you can't really see it now. It's got your got the digits on there, what the temperature is. But this bit here, it glows up. So if it's bright red in the summer, it has gone bright red sometimes when it's gone about 25 degrees. That means it's too warm in the room. When it's orange, it's warm. Yellow is the recommended temperature, which is between 16 and 20 degrees. And then it'll go blue when it's too cold, so if it's under 16 degrees, which is just really handy. And in the middle of the night, you can like glance over it and know whether the room's the right temperature or not. You also get little smiley faces and unhappy faces here, which is quite cute as well. They're not very expensive at all. I think they're between like 10 and 15 pounds. So the last thing is all-in-one baby grows. When Marley was in my belly, I used to go out and buy kind of cute little outfits, you know, like the two pieces, the top and the bottoms. But I found when he was born, all I wanted to do was put him in bodysuits, like the all-in-one things. It was just so much easier. Obviously, if it's the summer, you just use like a little baby grow, short sleeve, no legs. But I just found it was just so much easier just to whip them in one of them. I found the two pieces, when they're so tiny, they just kind of get in the way and they get all, you know, they lift up and their bellies are, you know, on show. I just find the all-in-ones are just so much easier. So I would advise just going and buying a few packs of those just to start with. Don't go out spending all your money on cute little outfits. I mean, buy one or two, you know, for pictures or whatever, but it's practically they're not very good. Well, I don't think they are. That's just my opinion. You might think differently. Maybe just start off with some bodysuits and see how you go, and then if you're finding it really easy, if they don't poop much, or which they will, but if you're not constantly changing them, then yeah, you might find the two pieces work for you, but they just didn't for me. But if you've got any tips to give any other mums, just put them in the comments below. So at the end of each video, I'm going to be sharing like a little mum truth, something that most people might find a bit embarrassing to tell you, or maybe a bit taboo, just something that I wished I'd known in my first year of being a mum. So it's okay to have hairy legs, hairy pits, hairy everything when you're a mum. Especially in the earlier days, when you literally have zero time to yourself. So if you're lucky enough to have time to yourself, I am so jealous. My partner works a lot of hours, and I appreciate that, but it doesn't leave me with much me time. So I just do what I can when I can, and I think there's a lot of other mums out there that are like that. I forgot the thing that I'm going to show you. I'm going to have to go and get it. So if you're like me and you struggle with me time, just a little tip, might be a bit cringy. So I sometimes look like I am part of the pro body hair movement, which I'm not really. I mean, I have nothing against people that, you know, want to grow their leg hair or whatever. That doesn't bother me, you do you. But that's not for me. I don't feel comfortable doing that. So if you get to a point where you're just like, I cannot live like this any longer, I feel like I'm living in a jungle, I have a tip for you. This bad boy. This is a Philips. I think it's supposed to be a men's shaver, but if things get a bit overgrown, this is the equivalent of a hedge trimmer. It will just whip most of it off, and you're not just there for days going and picking your hair out of a razor, which is disgusting. Well, I find that disgusting. This will just whip it off, and then you can just done. So this is my mum tip, is go and buy a men's razor. This one was £18. I think I got it in Asda. Just, yeah, and then you can just clean it off. I mean, you could probably do your legs with this. If your armpits got that long, you'd probably do them. I don't know. Gee, I don't need to do this too much, but I like my bum fluff. But yeah, you could probably use it for that too. Maybe I've overshared a bit too much, but I think I lost my dignity in the labour ward when I was pushing Marley out of my so there's not much more I can overshare really, is there? But yeah, cool. Hope that helps somebody. So I'm glad we've broken the ice with that little overshare. If you've liked my video today, if it's been helpful, if you want to watch more, just give me a little thumbs up, that would be great. Subscribe down there somewhere, I don't know where it is because I'm new to this. Click the notification bell so you can find out when I post my second video, if I get that far. I'm going to try and do one every week, but obviously with a baby at the moment, I've kind of got to get into the throes of it and get used to it, the editing and all that. So it might be once every 2 weeks, but I'm going to try once every week. Please share below any tips that you've got for other mums. Kind of have a little chat below, and obviously recommend things to me, because I'd love to hear about things that have helped you out, because that might help me out. And I'm all about learning new things, because that's all that happens with being mum. You're just learning every day. So anything I've mentioned today, I'm gonna include in the description. I'll put the affiliate links in there if I can, or just links to the websites. You're welcome to click on them or go and search for it yourself on Google, and I hope they help. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Did I just wave? I should wave. Okay, so I'll see you guys next time. Bye.